Look at Caitlin Clark's arm. In her last 12 quarters, Clark has taken just 8 non-technical free throws. And this latest footage is only adding fuel to the controversy. Fresh video from the Fever's win over the Chicago Sky is going viral, but not because of a logo 3, a nasty crossover, or one of Clark's ridiculous passes. It's because of what fans noticed on her forearm. Scratch marks, several of them. The kind of marks that appear consistent with grabbing, clawing, and defenders desperately trying to slow someone down physically when they can't stay in front of her. And once you see them, it raises an uncomfortable question. How much contact is Caitlin Clark actually taking that officials simply aren't calling?
DiJonai Carrington had circled on her calendar and wanted the world to see happen tonight. And how did it turn out? Caitlin Clark had 37 points, 10 assists, 8 threes, and we got this lovely reaction. But I want to point out something that happened in the game. Some of the Chicago Sky, including DiJonai Carrington, to me, were looking for a fight this game. And Caitlin, instead of talking about it in the media, just did it with her basketball skills. And this is one of the plays that happened.
Indiana can regain the lead. Clark, another step back 3. Yes. And a little bit of passion afterwards. You love it. This is.
So DiJonai purposely runs into Clark, and then Clark just waves her off. Just waves her off. You can tell that Clark was just over that storyline and with that rivalry.
And this is the part that gets harder to ignore when you actually watch the possessions back. Almost none of it gets called. Again and again, defenders are hanging on Clark, grabbing at her jersey, reaching across her arms, making contact well beyond what you'd expect on a normal basketball play. Yet the whistle keeps disappearing. And this isn't just one physical possession that people clipped out of context. It keeps showing up across multiple games, multiple matchups, and multiple stretches of play. That's why this conversation is getting louder. Because at a certain point, when the same kind of contact keeps happening and the calls still aren't coming, fans are going to start asking whether this is really just physical defense anymore. And the post that reignited this debate summed that frustration up in the strongest possible way.
Took the ref 30 business days to call this foul on Caitlin Clark. But of course they want to demonize Clark and be like, she was overreacting. She's the most fouled player in the league. What are we doing? Why was the whistle not blown right here? Grabbing her, blow the fucking whistle, man. And then she had to do all this again to finally put her hand up. Like, what are we doing, man? Enrique's ugly ass falling down all over the place, foul call. You look at Asia Wilson, foul call, but it takes the ref looking direct. Look, why is her hand not up? Takes the ref 30 business days to call this. But let's demonize Clark. No, all these players fear Caitlin Clark. They fear for their lives when this woman is on the court and they have to hack her, tackle her. Odyssey Sims tackle Clark in this game and everything because she's the 11th best guard and we're gonna guard her this way though. Like, you guys are fucking ridiculous, man. It's like the refs just want Clark to get beat up and hacked. These people just want her to just play through it, and it's like, it's not part of the game to get fouled.
Caitlin Clark has taken just 8 non-technical free throws over her last 12 quarters. 8. That's basically 3 full games of basketball, and somehow one of the league's most aggressively defended guards has barely been getting to the line. Think about that for a second. We're watching defenders bump her, grab at her, fight through her movement, and make constant physical contact, yet the free throw numbers barely move. At some point, that stops looking like an isolated stretch of missed calls. It starts raising a much bigger question. What exactly does a defender have to do to Caitlin Clark before the whistle finally blows?
To show you 10 missed calls last game, that Caitlin Clark got fouled and the ref never called it. There's a moving screen. She's moving all over the place. Hits her with the shoulder, like always. Look at this. Fouls her, holding her, and fouls the crap out of her. No foul. Look at this. She got fouled the whole game. They didn't call this a foul. Look at this one. Like, her body's all over her. How is that not a foul? Look at this one. Cardosa swipes her once, twice, just tries to grab her. Can you imagine being fouled the entire game? Every time you hit half court, Every time you dribble, every time you drive, look at this. Sheldon clearly has her hand on Caitlin Clark's shoulder when she's shooting it. They even showed a replay. It's exactly where I thought it was. Watch this. Her arm is on Caitlin Clark's shoulder the whole.
Think about what that number actually means, because 8 free throws in 12 quarters sounds like just another stat until you put it next to what's happening on the court. Free throws are supposed to be the consequence when defensive contact crosses the line, and Clark is still getting bumped, grabbed, held, and knocked off her path constantly. So if the physicality hasn't disappeared, why have the whistles? That's what makes this so difficult to explain. It's not like defenders suddenly started giving her more space or playing her cleaner. If anything, the pressure around her looks even more aggressive. Yet somehow, as the contact increases, the calls seem to decrease. And that's completely backwards. The more physical a defense becomes, the more closely officials should be watching that contact, not allowing the standard to quietly move further and further in the defender's favor.
WNBA player to be suspended after she intentionally pokes Caitlin Clark in the eye. You can see here, she misses the ball with an open palm and then hones it into this little sharp, pointy hand and jabs it right into her eyeball. One more time, right in the eye. And believe it or not, she didn't even get a foul for this. It was so intense as well that as the game progressed, you could tell she was getting a black eye just from the hit. There is no doubt in my mind that what this WNBA player did was 100% intentional, and honestly, I think it should have a huge suspension.
Let's be clear about what's happening. When defenders can't stay in front of Caitlin Clark, the game gets more physical. Grabs, bumps, tangled arms, and now visible scratches. Maybe every mark isn't intentional, but when the contact keeps piling up and the whistle stays quiet, people are going to notice. At some point, this stops looking like normal defense and starts raising a bigger question. How much contact is Clark supposed to take before officials step in? And if you want more WNBA stories, controversies, and footage the mainstream coverage keeps overlooking, subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications, because we're going to keep breaking it all down.